Hey, y'all. It is Charisma with Charisma Cares Travels. Um, so we are doing a live stream tonight. I will give everybody an opportunity to jump on, answer any questions anyone has, tell you all about my update here. So I scheduled this for 5:05 p.m. Eastern, but y'all, it is 11. Well, actually, it's 5:10 now. It is 11 p.m. here. So and I finally started watching the show Bridgerton. So I had to break myself away to talk to y'all. So I'm going to give you a little update about what's going on. So I realize that a lot of y'all are still at work and not off work yet. So I am going to give you a brief overview. So if you catch the replay, you'll have a little information. So, it's been a lot going on. So, if you don't know who I am, my son and I, we travel the world. He happens to have a disability, but that's part of the reason why we travel, so he can see the world despite what his abilities are. And I do so by investing in real estate. So, I invest in a number of things. I invest in real estate syndications and rentals and partnerships in the US. And I had heard word from Vermela. If you did not see that interview, we did that interview prior to me coming, that she had bought land here in Rwanda. She had bought some residential plots. And, she had came in February and saw them. Well, I started doing my research and I found that Rhonda is an amazing place to invest. Um, Not just because, well, I'm not even going to say not just because. I'm going to give you the reasons why I chose Rhonda or Rwanda to come and invest in. One, they are the cleanest city, second to Singapore. They use Singapore as their guide to being this clean, natural city. And they have a government, it's like 70-80% women. This is unheard of in most nations. Hell, even if we look at the United States, we don't have that many women. We are just starting to get women. And as y'all already know what's going on in the United States, so I'm not even going to say that. Um, the other thing is they are building a multi-billion-dollar international airport. Now, this stood out to me the most. And the reason why is if you think about any major airport, I live in Atlanta. In Atlanta, we have a major international airport that makes great money. Imagine if you get in and buy land on the ground of this major airport. Imagine if you bought land for a couple of thousand, and in 2 years you found out that that land that you bought for maybe 6,000 is now worth $20,000 in 2 years. In 4 years, that land may be worth $30,000. So, or even more, the way this land is going up in price. So that is what made me come out to Rhonda, the investments. Hey there, lovely. So, even though that's what made me come out to Rhonda, and that's what I focus on while I'm out here are the investments. So I want to answer any questions you all had about it. Like I said, I know a lot of people are at work, so you will have the replay. So I am gonna get into my life in Rhonda for the last 2.5 weeks. It has seemed longer than 2.5 weeks. But feel free to go ahead, throw out any comments, any questions that you may have. Like I said, it is the 11 o'clock hour, so I can't be on here for hours with y'all. But I am going to take some time to talk because I have not done a live in a minute. So let me know what you want to know. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I think you want to know. So, Rwanda is not Ghana. Let me tell y'all that. It is not South Africa. It is not Kenya. It is not Nigeria. This is a place of very conservative individuals. They have been very conservative, especially since the genocide in the 90s. And this is what I heard from Rwandans. They are very conservative. So, y'all, you are not going to land in Rwanda and have men chasing you like you do in every other African country, probably. That ain't happening in Rwanda. This is not the place that you're coming in and men are just flocking around. Okay, I see your questions. Y'all keep putting them in there. I will be answering them. So that's the first thing. So I want to let y'all know that this is not party, party, party. Like, this is not that place. This is the place where it is safe. It is the safest country in Africa. It is clean, cleanest country in Africa. Um, it is an investor's paradise. A lot of people don't realize that. It is a great place to raise children. I argue that a little bit, and I'm gonna tell you why. Um, it is not, in my opinion, a place for fun. I'm just gonna tell y'all that this is not fun. This is definitely come here, and I have been worker bee. Like, people have been trying to be, people have trying to be. People are coming into town trying to catch up with me, and they wait to the day of or the last minute. And I'm like, girl, I got plans. So you do have to book with me. So let's go back. So I'm gonna start going down some of these questions in order as you all throw them in the chat. So you said, have I already purchased land? I purchased land before I left the United States. So if you caught the recording that I did with Vermilla, where she had purchased residential property, I had made the announcement that I purchased land. However, I did not purchase residential. I don't plan to live here whatsoever. I have come here and solidified I am not living here, but I am happy to invest in here. So I purchased two plots of multi-use land before I touched down, based off of my research and based off of talking to the landowner. Those plots are 430, 450, or 60 square meter plots, which I round up square meters to about 100. So 400, so say 400 square meters is about 4,000 square feet, if I'm correct. I think I'm correct, but if I'm correct. So my plots are pretty big. I will be releasing the video of me walking my plots because I did see the land. I actually saw it last week, but things in Rwanda don't go that smoothly. They go smooth probably for an African country, probably for a country that's still developing. They do not go smooth based off of what we may be used to in the US. But there's no closing here. So, you know how you will buy land or buy property and you have a closing in the States, you don't have a closing here. So everything goes through the business department and, these smaller departments that, are still working back the way that they used to, even though they have a large influx of things going on. So I purchased land, but paying for land and getting land in your name or your business name are two different things. Um, let's see. I'm gonna pull this one. So you see a lot of infrastructure there. No. This one is pretty easy to answer. There and sorry, I want to put that on do not disturb. When you say, do I see a lot of infrastructure? This is a place that is developing. This is a place that is a good time to get in as an investor. So, what that means is you're going to see some infrastructure, but you're not going to see all of it because, see, the thing is, if you were to see it completed, you're not going to buy a plot of land for six, 10, or even $20,000. By the time it is completed, these plots of land are 100, 200, 3, $400,000. So the places where you see great infrastructure, well, I would say good infrastructure, are going to be where they have a couple of things. They have a conference center. They have a convention center. They have an arena. They have different things like that. That land, once upon a time, was $6,000. That land today is $500,000 or more, probably even more closer to these arenas. So the thing is, do you want to buy where there's a lot of infrastructure? Absolutely not. Not if you're an investor. If you're just planning on living there, that's great to buy where there's a lot of infrastructure. If you're an investor, you want to get in from the ground up. In any country you go to, you will find that it is cheaper to buy before they build the building than after they build the building. After they build the building, you waited too long. You just paying regular price. There is no investment after they build the building. So the goal, if my strategy is getting in at the ground level, but you don't want to get in too early where you're just holding and you're not making any money. So it is a balance. Now, where the new airport is going, there's nothing there. People are buying up land because they know what's coming, but it's all dirt, grass, and more dirt and grass. In the city of Kigali, it has built up. But yeah, when you're looking at where the new airport is, basically they took an area where there was no land, there was nothing, basically, a small villages, and they are developing that. Now, the first phase of the airport is supposed to come out next year. Will that happen? I mean, let's be honest. Anytime you got construction on your house, did it ever finish in time? Now imagine billions of dollars going into the airport. The literature out there is saying it's not going to be done on time, and this is the second time it's actually been pushed back. Um, Acreage. Only in America do we use this system. Everywhere else they use the metric system. Nowhere else will you find acreage. Only in America. So land here is land here is built on, sorry, land is measured in square meters and it is measured in hectares. So you would have to excuse me, let me get my water, sorry y'all. So you would you would have to go online to calculate that out, to see what an acre is. I haven't looked up what an acre is, because at this point it doesn't really make a difference. The average plot, one plot is around 300 square meters. Since I bought my land earlier, my plots are over 400 square meters. You can get them up to 500 in Bugasera, where the new airport is, up to 300 in Kigali in the city. Now, there is land still available in the city of Kigali in some places, and it is going up rapidly. Let's see. Do they have anything like city planning to tell you what the plans are for the city? They use Google Earth. They use Google Earth, and the landowners will tell you the plan for the city. So you either have to know someone here. I have been talking to landowners and real estate agents, and I've talked to the city. They are in the works of completing the master plan. However, no one really knows when that master plan will be completed for the airport. There is already a master plan for the city. However, this goes a little bit differently than it goes in the States. In the States, everything is clear and concise. When you are cutting up, I mean, when you think acres and acres on acres, because we're talking hectares. Let me look that up. A hectare to acre. A hectare is 2.5 acres. So when you're talking, you're selling like one landowner may own 10 hectares. 1 hectare is about 2.5 acres. So when you're talking that type of land and you're planning that, that's going to take a lot of time to plan. We're talking hella land out here. So that's the thing about that. If you don't know anybody on the ground and you just try to invest with someone, I'm not going to say they will rip you off, because Rhonda, that's another reason why I was okay with investing from far away, because you do have a governing body that will aid you in getting your money back. How well that does online or over phone, I don't know. That may be one of those situations where you got to fly out here. But you do have a governing body, whereas in a lot of countries, um, you don't have a governing body. Yeah, 2.5 acres, I would call it more than a decent size. um, that's not what they're selling you typically. They're selling you a plot, which is 300 square meters. They own the hectares. You do not. Unless you're coming here with big money or you're finding the deal from the bottom up. I am looking at a deal for hectares, but I'm just looking at it right now. So Maya asked about children. I can't tell you a great place for children. I haven't been everywhere in Africa. I've only been here. So I would not be able to tell you a great place. I don't know that anyone can specifically say that. I can just tell you about Rhonda. So basically, Rhonda is extremely safe. You can leave your door open. You can walk at night, even though I'm not gonna walk at night. But you can do those type of things and feel perfectly safe. Um, as a foreigner, you are even more protected than a Rwandan, as far as safety. If you report a Rwandan for doing something to you as a foreigner, the repercussions of that for the local person are very high. So that's not something that they have. They don't have crime and a lot of crime and all of that. Like, you just don't really have that. It is so, since it's very safe, a lot of people come here to raise their children. The problem again, it's not extremely developed. So of course they have the convention center and they have the place where they play football or soccer, not their football or soccer, and they have different things like that. However, there are very few things for children. We did Fazenda. I don't know if you saw that video. I'll add it here along with the Africa video. So we did Fazenda. Oh, let me throw it. Make sure you like and subscribe. But we did Fazenda, which was a fun place. There's some people that get together, do a monthly meetup, and during that monthly meetup, they get together with kids. So they go to some different places. So this time we went to a place called Awesome Games. So we went to Awesome Games. But you're not going to really find a playground here. I don't know why they don't have playgrounds like that here, but they don't have playgrounds here. It's in the plans to have playgrounds, but I'm like, how do your kids play if they don't have playgrounds? Like, I guess they just kind of get a stick and create their own stuff, like playing in the dirt and running around. I'm like, y'all should have some playgrounds. Like, there's no playgrounds out here. There's no like pools out here. To go to the pool, you have to go to the hotel and pay the hotel a few dollars to go to the pool. Like, there's no community pools or anything like that. And Rwanda is a landlocked country, so there's no water. Like, there's a lake, but it's like 3.5 hours out. So there's no pools. You really got to have your own pool, or you're paying the hotels for the pool. There's no real activities. The movie theater, y'all, shows 4 movies a day. And when I say 4 movies a day, I don't mean 4 screens of movies, 4 movie showings a day. So the movies may play twice, that movie may play twice a week at 2 different times. And that's the only time it'll play that week. So they're bowling. It's in a hostel. They have a little bowling in a hostel. My understanding, I have not been, but I was told it's kind of adult like. It has a bar. So that's the thing. It definitely leaves a lot to be desired when you say place for children. I would be bored out of my mind. Even as an adult, I don't know that I feel like they have a lot of places. I mean, they have bars. Bars is our big thing here. My friend came when she came. She said, she went clubbing, but just to say, hey, let's go meet up and do this. You're typically meeting up for food or a coffee shop. That's typically where you're meeting up. Like you're not really meeting up somewhere where you can actually do something. So that's kind of my thing. For me, I'm only going to be here a month, and I'm here for business. So I just decided I'm not really going to be bothered with it. I got a nanny. She knows a couple of places where she could take my son, and we just leave it at that. They went to like a eco park today. Eco park, you just walk around. There's greenery, there's birds. He saw peacocks, stuff like that. So now, if you're a nature lover, there's hiking. Um, you got to go out to the lake 3.5 hours away. But you can do like, I guess you could do kayaking there. They do have a safari here, but I was told the one in Kenya, of course, is better, larger, and all of that. But they do have a safari here. So I mean, they do the gorilla thing here. If that's your something you really want to do, they do have the gorilla. I don't know if the gorillas are endangered or they just bring them here. I don't know how the gorillas got here. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because the gorilla permit is $1,500, and then the gorilla trekking is around 500. That's $2,000. I don't know enough about a gorilla. I don't really care enough about a gorilla, but that is like the number one thing to do in Kigali. So I'm not telling y'all not to come see the gorillas, but the gorillas are expensive. So that's something to keep in mind if that's something that you want to do. Kigali for to me is fairly expensive if you want to live nicely. Average it seems like average rent here's around 1,500, give or take. Taxis could cost you about $20 a day. They do have some apps that are much cheaper, so cut that 20 in half. So they do have some apps. They're not the apps that we have back home. The apps that they have here are Move. You call a number actually, and then they have another app here that you can use. So they do have some apps to get around. Food is, you got to go to more pricey restaurants that international people will go to. So you're pretty much paying for food what you would pay for at home. I'm not going to tell you that it's discounted like when I went to Mexico and all of these other places, DR, where I was buying a whole meal for $5 and a good meal with vegetables and all that. I'm not going to say that that's the case here when we're looking at food options. Me and Cam went out. We had a drink. He had his little drink. I had some wine. We had dinner, and he had a dessert, and I paid $60. That's the upscale restaurant. The average restaurant we go to here is $30. However, I did order some food from someone. He has he cooks locally. Well, cooks for people. He's Mediterranean, so I ordered a whole bunch of food for $60, and that will probably take us. I'm gonna freeze some of it. That may take us out in the next 2.5 weeks, mixing it up with some other things. So that's the case on life here. If you are a nature lover, the views are magnificent. It's the place of 1,000 hills. So it's a lot of beautiful mountain, hilly regions. Anything that you could do on a mountain or a hill. So, I took my son zip lining. That video is around here somewhere. So I took him zip lining. So different things like that. Um, but I feel like hands down, it is like the best place to invest. That is pretty much what I'm doing, keeping my son entertained at the same time. But I can honestly tell y'all, if I had came here by myself, I truly would just be working on the investments, because the paperwork is a little bit of a beast, unless you pay somebody to do it for you. I have allergies. Yes, I'm allergic to something around here. She said, "What time is it? And do you have a cold?" Yes, I have allergies. They started, and I don't know. I've been taking allergy medicine like twice a day. I'm due for my next allergy pill. Yes, I am. It is 11:36. So I'm about to leave y'all in a little while. So if you got questions, go ahead and answer them. This is not one of those 2 hour specials. 2, 3 hours when I'm on Eastern time. Um, I forgot what I was saying. What else did y'all want to know? Because I forgot what I was saying. The wine here, I haven't found good wine here, but they said the good wine is in South Africa. I don't know if I'm going to South Africa. I don't know how much more of Africa I'm doing. It's very hard for me and Cam to get around with crutches and a wheelchair. It's a lot of dirt roads, rocky roads, or hills. The hills are paved, and some of the roads are paved, but you have to get on the right road. It's not out of the ordinary to get a nice Airbnb on a rocky road or a dirt road. That is just average. So that is something you have to look at. Even though all the pictures will show that it's paved, you live in you live within your I forgot what it's called, but it's like a circle. Well, it's like a square. It's a fence. So you live within their quarters, and you have the house that you live in, and then there may be another house where the house help, that's what it's called, where the house help lives or something of that nature. So you live within those quarters, and within those quarters is paved. However, outside of those quarters may not be paved. So, it's a lot of dirt roads, rocky roads. In the city, of course, there's not a whole lot. It's not as many dirt roads. But once you start in the city, even once you start turning down some of those residential streets, you'll start to see the dirt roads a little more. Not all places are going to be on a dirt road. Some of them will be on a paved road. They're doing the infrastructure. One thing that I was told is that if the government is not going to pave your road, whoever's living there, y'all can get together and pay to get the road paved. So that's another option. There are a number of places to invest, not just the airport in Bugasera. There are other places as well in Kigali. So my land is actually at near the airport in Bugasera. I'm looking at buying more land in Bugasera, like closer to the airport. That will not be in the multi-use land. That will be another type of land. That will be industrial land that I would like to buy. And I've also considered buying land in other areas of Kigali that are also building. Like basically, you buy land in January at 10,000, and by now it's 20,000. So the land is going up in price very, very quickly. If it's something you're interested in, I'll leave the link to book a consultation appointment to kind of get an idea of what you want to invest in, what how much you have, and get you connected with the right people. I've made a number of connections here, so I feel like I have at this point I have different people that can do different things. If you want to be near the airport, I have people for that. If you want to be in Kigali, to be in the airport is a lot of work, as far as paperwork. So you have to have the right people doing that paperwork. Now, and then if you want to be in the city, there's somebody different. It's a little, what I've learned is that you have to, I have had to collect information from different people to determine what the correct information is. Um, I have another meeting tomorrow. I have another meeting on Saturday. So I'm constantly meeting with individuals and investors. Not investors, not I'm meeting with individuals and real realtors and people that say that they're realtors but not really realtors. But it's all about who has the information here. You being a realtor doesn't make you any more or any less educated than somebody that's not a realtor. At the end of the day, is knowing that the person that is doing the deal actually knows what to do, knows how to get the paperwork, and that the business department knows who they are. Because if the business department does not know who that person is, then all of this is for nothing. Because it's going to take them a long time to get things accomplished. It's about who you know and what you know. And then if you don't know it, you need the who you know to learn it. So I've also made some connections at the business department as well. So y'all know how I am when it comes to my investing. So it's definitely a good place to invest, whether you want to come here or not. You actually never have to step foot here to invest here, but you do need to know the right people and make the right connections, because it's very easy to come across somebody that says they have land, they don't actually own the land, you don't know what to ask for, you don't know how to do the business license, just the basics. That's just the basics. So it is a lot to navigate because this stuff is not on the website. Like they'll give you a list of things, but then you find out there's another list in another place you need to go. And this place is an hour out, and this place is north, south, east, west. So it's a lot. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in the chat if the link isn't already in the chat. Tell me, what other questions do you have? If you do come, I have a great taxi driver. I put his name in the Africa, the zip lining. So if you do decide to come, make sure you bookmark that video. I do have his information there. He's a great driver, very personable. If you want, if you looking for something else, a little bit more luxury, then there's some drivers here, but you also have that app. So if you're doing multiple stops, it's good to do a driver. You have the app, and if you're willing to jump on a motorcycle, have at it. The motorcycle is very, very cheap. I have not gotten on a motorcycle yet here. I've gotten on one in Dominican Republic, and I'm like, well, at least they use helmets here, and they're actually registered. In Dominican Republic, you just jumped up on that moto. You ain't know who was driving you. There was no registration. There was no helmet. You was really leaving it up to the driver and God to get you where you needed to be. So that is yeah, that's rough. So they give you a helmet here. Like, and that's a step up, right, y'all? You get a whole helmet. Now I can't tell you that they clean the helmets, but you get helmets. Okay, what other questions do y'all have? Because it is now 11:45 and Charisma's tired. I have been running around all day and working on business plans and stuff all last night. So I didn't get to bed till 2. And I've been watching Bridgerton. I know, right? Y'all didn't tell me what Bridgerton actually was about. So yeah, if y'all left that little piece of information out of there. So I've been watching Bridgerton here um, in the land of Rwanda, where we get in the house by 8. Y'all, look, it's dark at 6 here, 6 p.m. So, let me see. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell for more videos. I do have some more videos coming out. I have some land tours that I've done. So I'm gonna post those as well. And just some fun videos. I have someone that I interviewed. She bought land, so she told us about her land purchase. But otherwise, any questions? I'm waiting for some questions for a second. Any questions? So if you came on late, make sure you watch the replay. I give a lot of information in the beginning, so be sure to watch the replay. This one isn't too long, I guess maybe about 40 minutes. I will be dropping videos over the next few days once I get them edited. Y'all, it's a lot. I got so much footage I got to get out here. So I will be dropping those videos coming. I'm supposed to sign for my land Thursday. So I'll let you know how that goes. And I have a conference coming up. Have a conference coming up in a week or two that I'm going to a 3-day conference. And then I have a meetup that I'm going to about real estate as well on Saturday. So I am definitely educating myself. And I thank y'all for being here. And y'all have, I was gonna say good night, but y'all have a good rest of y'all day. All right, y'all. Ring that bell because that's how you know when I'll go live again. Ciao.